Hi everyone, we're going to work on our Unit 8 study guide. Question 1, the head of the student council at a school with 600 students conducts a survey among 30 randomly selected students. In the survey, he asks each student his first choice for an after-school activity. Basketball is the first choice for 6 of the students. Based on these survey results, how many students in the school will be expected to choose basketball as an after-school activity? All right, so I can set it up a couple of different ways. I can use a table, which is my go-to. So I have my favorable results and my total outcomes. So I know that 6 out of 30. And I know I want to know about 600 total students. So I put my 1 there, divide by 30, divide by 30, and then multiply by 600. And I find out that I'll have 120 students. Or I can take the information that 6 out of 30 times the 600 students is going to give me 120. Either way. Question number 2, the mayor of Central City wants to use a random sample to find out where people think a new park is needed in the area. Which group of people could be used to create a random sample? Well, we've got people with Central City telephone numbers, people with accounts at Central City Electric, people with children at a daycare in Central City, and people with tickets to a concert in Central City Square. Well, I know that it's probably not going to be people with tickets to a concert. People with children in a daycare are probably going to care where a new park is going to be. Maybe people with telephone numbers, because you would be talking about everybody that lives in the area. You could include people with accounts at Central City Electric. Well, if you do that, you're going to be eliminating anybody that doesn't have an account with that electric company. So there might be other electric companies. So I would definitely consider the daycare one, and then maybe the people with the telephone numbers. The next one says a principal at a high school wants to know if parents at her of her students like the new bell schedule. Students at a high school are in grades 9 through 12. She randomly selects 8 people that walk by the school to conduct the survey. Which people should the principal select to take the survey? Well, the parent of a 2nd grade son, well, that's not the right demographic because you need 9th through 12th. People with a 10th grade daughter, yep. An 11th grade son. 8th grade son, no. 1st grade, 7th grade. An adult with no children or a 7th grade, no. So it would just be 2 of them. Paige asked every 3rd student who walked in the cafeteria what their favorite ice cream was. If there are 2,000 students in the school, based on Paige's results, how many of the students should expect to choose peanut butter as their favorite ice cream? Well, based on this graph, I'm going to guess it's about 20. And then if I wanted to figure out the total, I know I have 30, 40, 30, 20. So that's 60, 120 people were asked. So 20 out of 120. So I could multiply that by 2,000 to get my answer. So I know that I could do it that way, or I could do it my way where I like to do favorable and total outcomes. 20 out of 120. Divide by 120. Times and I get approximately 333 students. All right, let's check the next one. Okay, so Paul took a survey, and he's running for class president, and he posted the results. The opposing candidate declared the survey invalid, and the poster was misleading. Which statement below would lead to this declaration? So it says, vote for the football star Michael Smith. He's favored by more than 85% of those surveyed. So he's saying that the opposing candidate declared that the survey was invalid because it was misleading. So if he surveyed the entire school, well, that wouldn't be misleading. If he surveyed every fourth person, that wouldn't be misleading. If he surveyed the 50 students chosen at random, that wouldn't be misleading. But if he surveyed the entire football team, that might be misleading because he is a football player. So B would be the correct answer. An ice cream shop asked customers to vote for their favorite flavor of ice cream. This table shows the results. What fraction of the student body chose mint? Well, I'm going to add this up, and I get 15 plus 8 plus 22 plus 10, and I get 55. So what fraction chose mint? 8 out of 55. All right, the next one says a university studied salaries of employees at the same company. In the data sets, there is an outlier in the women's salaries of $156,000 and an outlier of the men's salaries of $170,000. Which measures should be calculated as the most accurate measures of center? Well, as soon as I see the word outlier, I know that I cannot include the mean. Okay, because median is going to be my most accurate when there are outliers. Okay, so is it going to be the median and the mean absolute deviation, or the median and the interquartile range? Well, the mean absolute deviation goes with the mean. So it's got to be D. All right. The tables below show the number of hours Marcella and Isabella worked over the past nights. Marcella wants to use either the median or the mean of each data set to estimate the number of hours worked each week. Which statement best explains which measure of center she should use? Well, let's look at the data. We have all these numbers in their teens except for that 38. We have all these numbers in their high teens except for that 36. So I see outliers. So I know I can't use the mean. So it's going to be the median because there are even numbers in each data set, or because one value is significantly greater. It's going to be D because of that outlier. One is significantly higher. Okay, they want to know the difference between the range in Miss Strafford's class and Mr. Williams's class. So we have what that looks like, 99 minus 76. And we get 23. And then 100 minus 60. We get 40. So the difference between the two is 40 minus 23. And we get 17. So the difference between the two is 17. Okay, what is the difference between the two mean absolute deviations? So the first thing I have to do is find the mean. So 100 plus 76 plus 85 plus 88 plus 92. I get 441, so I'm going to double check that, make sure I've got the right number. $441 divided by, it looks like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. $88.2. Then I'm going to check the other one. I get 354. I'm going to check it again. All right, so now I'm going to subtract the two numbers from each other. So I've got 100 minus 88.2, and I get 11.8. $12.2. I get 3.2, 0.2, and 3.8. So then I'm going to add those numbers up. I get 31.2, but I'm going to check them again. $31.2 and divide by 5, and I get 60 or 6.24, and that's my mean absolute deviation. So then I get to do it all over again for the math. And I'm thinking because the numbers are all over the place, it's going to be a lot bigger. All right, I'm going to add these numbers up. I get 79.2. $79.2. I'm dividing by 5. And I get 15.84. And that's going to be my mean absolute deviation. And then they want the difference between the two numbers. So I'm going to subtract 6.24, and I get 9.6. So 15.84 minus 6.24, and I get 9.6. So that's my final answer. Man, that was an involved question. All right, question number 11. What is the difference? Do I have to do it again? Jeez Louise. Okay, what is the difference between the mean absolute deviation scores of the math and science? So again, I'm going to add up these numbers. I got 687, so I'm going to add it one more time. Make sure I've got it right. I've gotten different numbers each time I've added it. All right, we're going to go with 740. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Divided by 10, and we get 74. So then we're going to do the other one. At 868, I'm going to add it again. Good. Got 868 again. Divided by 10, I get 86.8. All right, so then I'm going to subtract them all. From what, 74? 74. I get 16, 14, 12, 10, 4, 2, 6, 10, 12, 26. So I'm going to add those numbers up and divide by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. And I get 11.2. Okay, now I'm going to subtract the other ones. 86.8. I'm missing a number. All right, now I'm going to add those numbers up. divide by 10, and I get 7.84. All right, so they want to know the difference between the two, so I'm just going to subtract. And I get 3.36. All right, which is true. The difference of the range is 30. So we got 600 minus 440. So that's 160. 580 minus 470. It's 110, so that's 50. So that's not true. The difference of the ranges is 50. All right, next one. Based on the information, we've got to find the median. So let's start with the median. So if I know there's 11, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I know that they're the same. So it's got nothing to do with the higher or the lower median. So now we're going to talk about the interquartile range. So we've got so that would be what, 86 minus 84, which would be 2. And then this one would be 85, 87, that would be 2. Let's check it again, because I must have made a mistake somewhere. That's 86, 84, 83. Oh, 3. So the girls have a higher interquartile range. All right, what is the interquartile range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. So it's going to be between, so it's 70, what, 6? So it must be 80. So it's got to be what, 77's the median. So that means 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So right there, 1, 2, 3. So it's got to be what, 84. So that's got to be 10, because 84 minus 74 is 10. Okay, which plot has the greatest range? Well, the greatest range means that it's the biggest minus the smallest. So 14 minus 3 is going to be 11, and 12 minus 2 is 10. So this plot has the greatest range. Which plot has the greatest interquartile range? This plot also, because it has the biggest box. Which plot has the smallest median? Well, your median is this middle line, so it's got to be this one. And you can't tell anything about the mean from a box and whisker plot, so you're kind of out of luck. All right, if you have any other questions, please let me know. I know this video is extremely long, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.